Eddie Glaude once again nails it. We need an urgency. Right now, our democracy is really under attack. All these Republican legislatures that are trying to pass laws to make it more difficult for people of color, for people that generally vote Democratic, poor folk, poor white people, poor just about everybody else that generally vote their interests. They're trying to make it difficult for them to vote. Now, the filibuster is the one item right now that is stopping. Supposedly, the one item that is stopping a substantive legislative effort to ensure that states cannot do these voter restrictions on national elections. Well, Democrats have to use the power that they have to get that done. And what Eddie Glaude is pretty much saying is, guys, what are you waiting for? When are you going to do what is necessary to get the job done? I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Eddie, let me turn to you for kind of the big picture view here. What needs to happen, right, federally in Washington for any momentum around voting rights legislation to pick back up, in your view?
First of all, I think President Biden has to use his bully pulpit. You can tour the country around infrastructure. You could talk about the American Families Plan. But let's be clear. He said that he would not be president of the United States if it was not for black voters and particularly black women. So he needs to understand and he needs to show the urgency of this, right? The Supreme Court has given a green light to what we're seeing across the country. We see they're emboldened to do this, and we don't hear the urgency from the Democratic leadership. So we need an argument made from the bully pulpit, and we need action with regards to a filibuster carve-out. There's a reason why it's all hemmed up, Hallie, and it's because Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema are providing cover for Democrats who are not committed to the For the People's Act. And the only way we're going to get it passed is that we carve out a filibuster and we begin to expose those who are not really committed to voting for all Americans. And it's not just simply on the Republican side, it seems to me.
So let's say Congress isn't going to do anything because of these issues that you're talking about here. Is there anything the president could or should be doing through, for example, executive action to try to make advances on this front?
I'm not the president of the United States. I don't want to tell him what to do, but I think he needs to do everything within his power to ensure that American democracy, right, is working, that it's safe. We're seeing a systematic attack on the very foundation of our democratic polity. And I'm just baffled, Hallie, by how the Democratic leadership is responding. They're responding as if their opponents are rational political actors, and their opponents are rigging the terms for not only the midterm election, but for the subsequent presidential election. If the Democrats don't respond, if President Biden doesn't respond aggressively, then we won't see Raphael Warnock again, right, in the Senate, right? We need to be very, very clear about the stakes here.
And he's exactly right. We won't see Warnock and we won't see quite a few others if we don't stop this hijacking of democracy. Even the head of the DNC saw that. I'm going to play that for you, and then we'll take it on the other side.
And therein lies the difference between Democrats and Republicans in Congress today. Democrats have policy proposals, and while I may not agree with all of them, at least they have them. Republicans, though, are all about the politics. And that is something that they do exceedingly well. So here's my question for Democrats. Are you actually going to use your majorities? And if you are, what the hell are you waiting for?
It is simple. It is simple. Democrats, what are you waiting for? And don't stop using Sinema and Manchin as cover. Because as both of them said, they're likely more than that. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.